How's it going, guys? This is Joshua from Motiva Online Instructors. Today I'm going to do a more advanced example using the distance formula. And the example is find all points having an x coordinate of 3 whose distance from the point -2, -1 is 13. Now, one of the difficulties of this exercise is to understand the statement. It says find all points having an x coordinate of 3. So we have a point, that means that we have a point 3, let's call it y. So in particular, we're looking for all the y's for which it has an x coordinate of 3 and has a distance of 13 from this point to this point, okay? So what's the distance formula? Again, the distance formula equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Now notice something very important. Here, the x2 and the x1, you can choose whoever points you want them to be. But what's important is the order. If you choose x2 as 3 and x1 as -2, then you must check y2 as y and y1 as -1, and vice versa. If you want x1 to be x -2 and x2 equals 3, then you must have y2 equals -1 and y1 equals y. Okay, so let's just choose x2 equals 3, x1 equals -2, y2 equals -1, and y1 equals y. Now notice that this is very important. I've seen a lot of mistakes where people think that these values can interchange. The problem with that is this minus here that will change the whole answer. So be very careful when plugging in what's x2, y2, x1, and y1. The reason they have these values here is to match them to the corresponding points. Okay, now that we've defined x2, x1, y2, y1, let's plug in the formula. Now we already know the distance. The distance is 13, so we can write 13 equal the square root of what? Well, x2 we know is 3 minus negative what? -2, which is x1 squared, plus y2, which is -1, minus y1, which is 1. I mean y squared. Okay? Now, again, this implies 13 equals square root 3 minus -2 is +2, so it's 3 plus 2, which is 5 squared, plus -1 minus y squared. Okay? Which this implies 13, which equals square root again, 25 plus -1 minus y squared. Okay, now notice that from here, we have 13 equals the square root of this, right? So to eliminate the square root, what do we have to do? We have to square both sides. So this implies 13 squared equals 25 plus -1 minus y squared. But what is 13 squared? 13 squared is 169. 169 equals 25 plus -1 minus y squared. Now, this implies what? Well, we subtract 169 to 25. 169 minus 25 equals -1 minus y squared. 169 minus 25 is 144, which is equal to this. Now, to eliminate the square here, we have to take the square root, but not just the positive. We have to take both positive and negative square roots. Okay, that implies this positive and negative square root of 144 equals minus 1 minus y. Now, the square root of 144 is 12. So it's plus and minus 12 equals minus 1 minus y. Now, let's just change directions. Let's put this to the left, this to the right, just to change the signs. We have y plus 1 equals plus and minus 12. Now notice that this plus and minus means that we have two values, one with plus and one with negative. Okay, so y, let's put the subscript over here just to not confuse to the other subscript, equals plus 12 minus 1, which is 11. Then y2 equals minus 12 minus 1, which is minus 13. And those are your two answers. Okay, guys, if you enjoyed this, then feel free to comment. Check us out at multival.com, and thanks for watching.